They called him the Silent King. In every boardroom, his presence was enough to make men twice his age fall silent. He built an empire from scratch: hotels, tech firms, even charities, but he never spoke a single word. Some said he couldn't, others said he wouldn't. What no one really knew was that beneath that cold, quiet exterior was a heart that had been screaming for years, begging to be understood. The story begins one rainy morning in the gleaming glass tower of Raven Group. The billionaire Alexander Raven sat by his window overlooking the gray city, his fingers moving slightly as he communicated with his assistant through sign language. Few understood him, even fewer tried. Most saw his silence as arrogance, a rich man's quirk. They didn't know that he had lost his voice at 12 after a car accident that killed his parents. Since then, words had betrayed him, so he stopped using them altogether. Downstairs in the basement of the same building, a young woman named Lena was mopping the marble floor. She was the daughter of the cleaning lady, Rosa, who had worked there for 10 years. Lena had just graduated from college, but jobs were hard to find, so she helped her mother while she searched. She didn't know that fate was preparing to intertwine her life with the loneliest billionaire in the city. That morning, as Rosa cleaned the executive floor, she accidentally spilled coffee near Alexander's office. Panicked, she dropped to her knees to wipe it away, but the heavy doors opened and the man himself appeared. Everyone froze. He looked at her not with anger but with something else: pain, embarrassment, no one could tell. He signed something with his hands. Rosa trembled, not understanding. The secretary rushed in, saying softly, "Mr. Raven says it's fine, just be careful next time." Rosa apologized anyway, bowing repeatedly. Alexander nodded once, then turned away, his eyes distant, almost sad. That night, Rosa told Lena about the incident. "He doesn't talk, you know," she said. "Not a word, but he's not cruel, just quiet, like a ghost in a suit." Lena felt something stir inside her. "Does he use sign language?" she asked. Rosa blinked in surprise. "You know sign language?" "Yes," Lena said softly. "I used to volunteer at a school for deaf children." 2 days later, fate intervened again. Rosa fell ill and Lena was asked to fill in temporarily. Nervous but determined, she put on her mother's uniform and reported for duty. Her first task, cleaning the top floor. When she stepped into the executive corridor, she could feel the weight of power in the air. Every surface gleamed, every sound was muffled. Then, without warning, a paper folder slipped from her cleaning cart and scattered near an open door. She bent down to pick it up, only to realize someone was watching her. It was him. Alexander Raven stood a few feet away, dressed in black, his eyes intense and unreadable. For a moment, neither moved. Then he signed something, quick, graceful movements of his hands. Without thinking, Lena responded, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make a mess." The billionaire froze. He blinked as if the world had tilted. Slowly, he signed back, "You understand." Lena nodded, her heart pounding. For the first time in years, Alexander smiled, a real smile, faint but trembling at the edges. Something warm passed between them, a bridge of gestures and silent emotion that words could never match. From that day, everything changed. Alexander began seeking her out in small, quiet ways. He'd stop by while she was cleaning, asking how her day was, always through signs. He'd leave her notes with little sketches, a flower, a sunrise, a bird. In return, she'd reply with doodles of her own. Slowly, a friendship blossomed in the silence. One evening, Lena found him in the rooftop garden, sitting alone under the fading sky. His eyes were red. She hesitated before asking, "Rough day?" He signed slowly, "I lost another investor. They say I'm too difficult, that my silence makes them uneasy." She signed back, "Maybe they just never learned how to listen." He looked at her for a long time, something breaking open inside him. No one had ever said that before. Weeks passed and rumors spread in the office. The silent billionaire was seen smiling. The cleaner's daughter was seen near his office more than once. People whispered, some laughed, but Alexander didn't care. For the first time in decades, he felt alive. Then came the day that would test them both. A major meeting with investors was scheduled, one that could save his company. But on the morning of the meeting, his interpreter fell sick. The board panicked, no one else could translate for him. Without a translator, they'd lose millions. That's when Lena stepped forward. "I can do it," she said. The executive scoffed, You're just the cleaner's daughter." But Alexander signed firmly, "She stays." During the meeting, Lena stood beside him, her hands moving with quiet confidence, translating every word he signed. The investors were mesmerized, not just by the clarity but by the connection between them. It wasn't just business, it was harmony. By the end of the presentation, they stood and applauded. That day, Alexander's company was saved, and so was his faith in people. After the meeting, he turned to her on the balcony, the wind brushing her hair. "You changed everything," he signed. Lena smiled. "You just needed someone to listen." But before she could step back, he gently took her hand, signing with trembling fingers, "Thank you for hearing me." Tears filled her eyes. "Always," she whispered. From that day forward, the world began to see Alexander differently. He wasn't the mute billionaire anymore. He was the man who built an empire of empathy with the help of a girl who reminded him that silence could speak volumes. Months later, he opened a foundation to support children with speech and hearing disabilities, naming it the Lena Project. During the inauguration, Lena stood beside him as he signed to the crowd, "Sometimes the most powerful voices are the ones that speak without words." The applause was thunderous, but what mattered most was the way he looked at her, like she had given him back his voice. So if you've ever felt unseen, unheard, or misunderstood, remember this: someone out there is waiting to understand your silence too.